Somebody's excited, huh?
It's a party.
Crazy. Just crazy.
It's
We're
a
going to
party.
start with Curt's opening statement.
Super proud of this group tonight. Just played with a toughness and a grittiness from start to finish. Just really, just proud of them to keep putting themselves back in that position in the fourth quarter. Another fourth quarter lead disappeared, but this is what we're talking about with a young team. You just got to keep putting them back in that situation. Tonight they responded with some, real grittiness and toughness and found some stops and enough offensive plays to get that game into overtime. And then I just thought we played with intent tonight. And especially in the overtime, did some really nice things to find a way to the finish line. Our Achilles, people that have followed us know our Achilles heel this year is turnovers. We keep addressing it, and we found some flow tonight and, played a 45-minute game with 3 turnovers, 1 at halftime. So, just really proud of them that way. We called some plays that are lower turnover plays that, not always got us into scoring positions, but it kept us out of turnovers. And again, Aari McDonald was just, went, continuing north-south and attacking, and just really led us throughout the night. But that starting group, did a lot of really good things. And last shout out I'll give is, I thought Ray's length at the 2-guard position with Kia Nurse in foul trouble early. She really, while she didn't shoot the ball as well as she's capable of, her length and her activity really helped us tonight. So super proud, gritty, tough win. Got that losing streak ended. That certainly, our locker room feels really good about that.
We're going to start with questions for the players. John?
My question's for
John first, and then Edwin. Sorry.
So it took 45 minutes, 45 minutes to get this one done. And throughout it, the ups and downs and everything like that, Aari, Rickea, what do you feel like was the thing that you take away from a game like this that it took to win it?
I think that we stayed together. Vegas had their runs and we expected that. But the difference from tonight and Tuesday, we stayed together. We communicated, and I think that we minimized their stops, but we were also executing and scoring.
Yeah, I would have to agree. Our turnovers, we had 3, and that just says a lot about us when we're moving the ball, playing together, and just playing aggressive on both ends of the floor. Good things happen.
Edwin.
Questions for McDonald. You had a career high tonight. A lot of it one-on-ones there with Plum, and you kind of took advantage there. What did you see in that matchup that made you feel like that was the best option on the floor?
Kelsey's a great player. Played with her my freshman year at UW, but Kelsey's an offensive player. She doesn't want to play on the defensive end, and she picks and chooses, but I knew that coming to the game, so I had to take advantage of that. Even if I wasn't scoring, it was getting my teammates open looks.
Hey, this is DJ from Infinity TV. This question is for Rickea. Rickea, tonight you had a really timely rebound. Can you talk about your aggressiveness on the glass and your strategy tonight?
Yeah, playing against Asia and Kia, I know they're super tall, so I had to pick and choose rebounds. Like, if it's up in the air, I know Asia probably was going to get that. That last rebound, I was just, praying it came to me, and it did. I saw Kia go to the left, so I went to the right. And then it rolled off my body, and I said, whatever you got to do, just grab this so you don't get cussed out. So, yeah, that's what happened.
Thank you.
Jackie with Jackie Ray TV. Aari, this one is for you. We talked before the game, and you said for the last 7 to 10 games you've been really vocal. When you picked up that 4th foul, I saw you be even more vocal, and your intensity did not stop. Can you tell me what you were thinking at that moment?
I was just thinking, next play, whatever you do, do not foul out. I know you got 6 of them, but don't use them. But, I just have to continue being aggressive. I'm an aggressive defender, so, whatever I have to do to get that stop, I was going to do it.
Rick.
Hey, Rickea, we talked earlier that you said that you knew what it takes to beat the Aces. So what did it take for all of you to beat the Aces?
Just, again, staying together, low turnovers, executing, knocking out open shots. I just feel like we played with a lot of grit tonight.
Thanks.
Rick.
May I just ask the question? This is for both of you guys. Coach Miller is really stressed in practice. Or yesterday, he talked a lot about, your guys' need to stay composed and not stagnate in those final minutes. And in that final 6 minutes in overtime, how important was it kind of keeping that mindset of not, okay, look, we blew the lead here, but we can still win this game?
Just like Coach said, running sets that didn't cause us to turn the ball over, and just keep moving them. Trying to get the matchups we wanted, but also just to, just get them moving and just to execute and just score.
Yeah.
This question for Rickea. Like you guys just mentioned, like discussed out. Can you talk about like, the interaction with you and Curt? I believe it was in the second quarter, the teaching moment that you guys had, and then it led to a timeout.
Yeah, he just pushes me, and that's something that I need. I'm a player that when I'm pushed, I'll play better. And I feel like he knows that. He wants what's best for me on both ends of the floor. So him just challenging me, I can't remember the exact.
Oh, I do.
Wait, what was it?
So Rickea, to her credit, right, is really versatile. But we played her predominantly at the 3. And at the last second, we needed some minutes with her at the 4. And we ran a play, and Rickea looked at us and was like, where am I supposed to be? Because she hasn't been a 4 for a month. So that's the interchange. But you were a 4. I reminded her that she was a 4.
Exactly.
And she should remember, she,
I had a brain fart.
she fairly said, I haven't been there, coach, in a month. And so.
He couldn't say nothing.
Yeah, that was a good answer.
For either of you guys, it seemed like whenever you guys really needed a big play, obviously De'Arc is there, but Steph Talbot made a lot of big plays down the stretch. What did you make of her passing and really everything she was doing down the stretch of this game?
Steph is so underrated. She's been playing her butt off since entering the starting lineup. She's been the glue that we needed, keeping us together, staying composed, and just doing the little things that doesn't show up on the stat sheet. But she had some really big assists tonight, and I'm just proud of her.
Rickea, since moving back to the guard spot, playing a lot more with Aari, what's it like to play with a point guard that is so fast and has such high energy all the time?
Yeah, it's fun. Like when that's the head of the snake, like it's just fun to play with. She keeps our energy high and keep us calm at the same time. And every time she got the ball, I'm confident she's always going to make the right play. Whether it's going to get a bucket, whether it's kicking it out, she's always making the right play. And she's always taking accountability as well. And I feel like that's important as a point guard. So, just playing with her is amazing. And then she's a dog on the defensive end. So I know she always going to sit on somebody. So, yeah.
Eric? This is for either Rickea or Aari. Regardless of the opponent, regardless of the score, you all play with a tremendous grit. Where does that come from in terms of the team?
I think that just comes from within. I mean, we beat each other up at practice, honestly. So, I mean, for us to finally go out there and try to even beat up somebody else, I mean, I love to see it. But, I mean, this is a really gritty win. And we're all dogs on this team. We wanted to win. And I think at one point in time, we didn't even know what the score was winning at halftime. We just know that we were playing great, and we had one turnover. So, I mean, however long it took, whatever we need to do, we got it done. And so the rest to carry itself.
Last question for the players. We have PJ Brown on Zoom. PJ?
Okay. Hi, Aari.
Hi.
You've been on a big roll these last, 8-10 games, something like that. In all aspects, your scoring, your role as a point guard, as well as your defense. What do you think it is that all of a sudden things sort of started clicking for you and you feel, I guess, more comfortable in this offense?
Just taking advantage of the opportunity that I'm getting. And just also playing with a coach and playing with teammates that believe in you and trust that you're going to make the right play. But, I mean, that's all I needed was somebody to believe in me. And, when that happened, my confidence, it just was boosted.
Thanks, Aari and Rickea. We'll now take questions for Curt.
Thank you.
Thanks, ladies.
Thank you.
We'll study that playbook at the 4.
John, right there.
All right, so Coach, again, congratulations on the win. Your 4th and 5th wins of this season, both against the Aces. I don't think either one of us had that on the bingo card. But what do you want to take from this and immediately put it into Sunday's game? Because we both know this league doesn't stop.
Yeah, games don't stop. I gave him an extra hour of sleep tonight, but it's back to work tomorrow for a game with no shoot around against Phoenix. So, this league is interesting. There's just matchups of some teams that you match up better than others, and there's a confidence in our locker room. They are an incredible championship team with 4 Olympians, and 5 now with Tiffany Hayes going to the 3-on-3, and maybe more, So it's just, there's a confidence that they can play with them because we've had some success. We played well there in the first game. So, there's just weird matchups in this league that there's some teams that you just find some flow and rhythm. And right now there's confidence in that locker room that they can match up with Vegas as talented and as much respect as we have for them. And Becky is, an elite coach who, obviously our history goes all the way back to her senior year in college. But really proud of them. Again, it was a really gritty win. Important that we step back up and put ourselves back in that fourth quarter opportunity.
Yeah, hey coach, Dehan Joseph, Yahoo Sports. When you hear your players talk about they didn't know the score all at halftime, all they know that they were up and they were winning, especially in such a dogfight like this. Also considering the fact that last game you guys had a big lead, then you blew it. What does that tell you about their confidence, not only in themselves, but also just the fact that they can beat anyone on any given night?
Yeah, just, we've talked a lot about standards recently. We've talked a lot about, what we want to hold ourselves accountable for. And we just have an opportunity to continue to get better and better. And there's just been too much slippage. And tonight our slippage was down, our turnovers were down. The box score looks flipped compared to what most nights look like. We took 19 more shots than them. That's what every box score has looked like against us because we've been turning it over too much. And it's constantly we're taking 8, 10, 12 less shots than people. It's hard to overcome that. We were able to overcome an average shooting night inside the arc tonight because we had so many more possessions than them. So just super proud, big win. They're going to feel good about themselves going into these last few games before the Olympic break.
DJ.
Hey Coach, DJ from Infinity TV. I'm curious to know that in the fourth quarter and going into overtime, Vegas was in foul trouble. How important was it in your scheming with just putting more pressure on their team in regards to fouls?
Yeah, tonight, a lot of our decision was we were going to put the ball in Aari's hands and try to get her to play north-south and make plays off of that. We recognized that Asia had 5 fouls, but we weren't going to dwell on it and try to overwork that matchup for the sake of taking bad shots or getting out of our rhythm. So we were all aware that Asia had 5. Could we put Asia in action? Could we put her in a compromised position? But, we were going to do what we were doing and try to get the ball to people that we wanted and thought we had an advantage with. And they made big plays within plays. We shared the ball tonight. Steph Talbot stepped up big with a big shot to send it to overtime. And that was with a play within the play and just making a read and taking what they gave us. And at times we force things and don't always take what they give us. So we did that better tonight. We really handled the basketball. Just a really overall big win. I mean, it doesn't get talked about, but Steph Talbot is a really good passer. Mm-hmm. And you see tonight with 9 assists from the forward position is a big night.
Matthew.
Hey, Coach, you talked a lot about composure heading into this game. How would you assess the composure of the team overall? And then also, how do you think that kind of showed up on the play when Talbot had the lob into De'Erica for the and one on the seal in the overtime?
Yeah, I thought Leisure came in, when Ray couldn't continue and, gave us some really veteran important minutes there. I thought, again, as they made their run in the fourth quarter and in times, those were the games that would slip away. they were better tonight. We were much more composed in the huddles. I talked about it in pregame. I was much more composed in huddles. I got a technical with 2 minutes to go in a close game, but I did have better composure with them in timeouts and directing, and that starts from the top. When they saw myself more composed in timeouts, naturally they're more composed. So really proud of them.
Last couple of questions, Edwin first, and then Aari.
Coach, you mentioned the familiarity here with these players and even the personnel. You with Becky, and obviously Gray used to be a Spark, and Hamby even mentioned it on the court that this matchup means a lot to her. Knowing besides the factor that it's a test for your team facing the defending champs, how does those personal relationships kind of give a game an extra edge, especially late in the fourth quarter and overtime?
Yeah, I think obviously that game is very special to Erica. It always will be. You get an incredible effort from De'Erica Hamby every night, but this is an extra special matchup for a variety of reasons. For her, it's very special. There's everybody's so close throughout the league. There's connections beyond what you guys can even imagine, and in 2 weeks I'm going to be coaching 4 of those players, and helping them any way we can to try to acquire our 8th gold medal in a row. So it's just this league is really, really neat that way, that there's special relationships. I love competing against Becky. She has brought some of the NBA philosophical approach, and we've all adapted and continue to steal things from the NBA and international men's play. And there's just coaches that you really get up for that just truly make you better, and Becky makes me better and makes me really try to scheme, and the chess match within the chess match when you go in and out of timeouts is really fun.
Eric?
Yeah, Coach, can you elaborate more on the chess match? That's what I was about to bring up, because in the fourth quarter and at the end of the game, we can physically see the chess match between you and Becky in this game.
Yeah, it's counter after counter, and but players are executing. No matter what Becky or I draw up on a board, it's great players executing. We made some big plays tonight. They made some big plays. Jackie Young, throwing in that 3 to get it back to a 2-point game. We knew that play was in their playbook. We discussed it. We had a flyby closeout. We didn't foul when she jumped forward, and it goes in. We knew how much they loved the back screen Asia Wilson on timeouts. They still out executed, even though those kind of things. And we were the same way. We were able to execute some things tonight and take advantage of the way they were guarding us. So it's just it's really fun, and in some games it's more obvious to media than others, but it happens every night. And at this point in my career, it's what I live for. I love that, and there's nights where I go home and really frustrated with what I did, and there's nights where I remind myself that I'm okay.
Thanks, Curt. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks.